Okay, so I believe this would be a good time to get started. The recording is now live. So again, my name is Majid. I'm the Chief of Operations on the Taboo project. I want to welcome all new investors onto the Taboo project. We thank you for placing your trust and faith in us as the core team. And my number one job is to continue to deliver and to prove our value on why this is a viable, solid, long-term investment. And I say long-term because I want to make sure all of us understand this is not a shitcoin. This is not a pump and dump type project. This is a project where from day one, we have treated it like a real business, and we have been operating it as such, and we will continue to develop and grow the brand, because the brand is the most important part of what will make this project have longevity. See, whether or not there's a bear cycle, whether or not there's a bull cycle, the projects that have sound fundamentals, that are being run in the right way, will be able to sustain and survive any kind of bearish trends in the market. I am not worried about the markets because we're building a brand where it is not exclusive and is not tied to the markets, believe it or not. Taboo as a project is here to stay. We are here to build this out in a way where it will continue to have higher price floors. It will continue to have more capital investment. It will continue to have more new investors that want to join us on our journey to greatness. Now, before I move forward, I want to share a little bit about my background, because I don't do it on all the AMAs, because I really want people to know a little bit about myself as well. So before I got into the world of crypto, I actually was a pre-medical student here in Canada. I was this prototypical pre-med student. I really wanted to get into medical school. And shortly before I was able to get enrolled into a medical program in a postgraduate university for it, I decided that wasn't for me. And the reason for that is because, I had this feeling that I would have to continue to work hard now to continue to work hard later. See, I'm not a firm believer in any way that we have to follow societal norms and trends. I didn't agree with the idea that we have to work until 65. I didn't like the idea of getting into substantial debt to then start my life with some handicaps the moment I get a professional credential. So I decided, you know what, maybe I want to move into the world of business. I got accepted into a master's business program. But at that point, I said, you know what, why would I do that? This is my story. It might not be any of yours. I said, if I was to get enrolled into this master's program in business, then I would maybe get hired in a Fortune 500 company, right? And maybe an entry-level management position, serving other people and building their dreams and not my own, right? Having my value dictated in the form of a paycheck. That is not what I wanted. So I then transitioned into the world of entrepreneurship. I spearheaded a successful wealth management business for over 5 years with multiple accolades. I then also did a lot of public speaking, both in finance and in motivational and inspirational speaking as well. And I led a franchise organizations of close to 200 different business franchises to help them grow their businesses. And it wasn't until COVID hit where, that really, really got me to take a step back from the lifestyle that I had created for myself. And I realized that this is not the way I wanted to live either. And I made a change and I moved into the world of crypto. Now, when I moved into the world of crypto, I was an active investor just like all of you. I remember a time where I had about 150 tabs open my first week of crypto. I was trying my very best to learn everything that I could about the crypto space and good investments, right? So I started to buy into investments the same way all of you make informed decisions to buy a crypto project, let's say like Taboo, okay? Now, what I quickly realized is there was a fundamental flaw in the crypto space. 99% of development teams did not understand how to develop a crypto project at all. There would be billion-dollar ideas that I saw that would be so worthwhile, that would be able to make a dent in history. But guess what? It wasn't being properly managed, whether it was on the PR scale, on the marketing scale, on the community management scale, on the tech side, on the moderation in the channels, on understanding the operational mechanics and the emotions of investors and every aspect of a crypto project that you can think of. I noticed it wasn't being developed properly. And it was the teams that were failing their communities and their investors, and that really, really bothered me. So as an act of self-preservation, this was purely self-interest. I will be completely candid. I'm like, oh my gosh, my investment is down 30 or 40%. I need to try to raise it. So I started consulting and I started sharing ideas to core teams. And then they started to see, well, Majid has some valuable information to share. And from there, I ended up getting integrated into multiple core teams. And I started getting a lot of experience being immersed in core teams. I want to share this example because I have shared it many times before. If you were to take two pilots today, somebody is a 63-year-old pilot and another one is a 30-year-old pilot, and I were to ask you, which one of these two pilots has more experience? Most of us would automatically think the 63-year-old because of their age and maybe their maturity and all of that. But then, you find out that 63-year-old pilot was always piloting part-time. And the person that's 30 for the last 10 years has been working 20 hours a day, double overtime, and has more working hours than the person that's 63. Now, who has more experience? It's the 30-year-old, right? So I want to share that example to let you know that I bring an abundance of knowledge on how crypto projects operate. And when James and I partnered up, James brought in the business traditional minded thinking model of how to run a business. And together we have a unique blend of business acumen as well as crypto business acumen. And that's what I believe one of the biggest reasons that we're growing is because of the fact that there is a team that is credible and there is a team that knows what they're doing. An idea is only 1% of the equation when it comes to any kind of investment. Execution is 99%. So whether you all like it or not, a majority and a big part about whether or not you will stay invested is whether you trust the team. And I hope that so far we have done nothing but deliver on our promises. I always say we never overhype, we always underpromise, and we always overdeliver. And we will continue to ensure that our community is happy, informed, be transparent on our quest to greatness. So, before moving forward, I want to share an analogy with all of you because I think this really rings true about our project. I call it the popcorn theory. So imagine you have a kettle and there is popcorn that is in their seed form. Think about the time that it takes before you hear the pop, 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 right? It takes a bit of time, but then when it happens, it pops so much, the lid pops off, and you have an overflow of popcorn. This is what's going on with Taboo, right? And in order for us to really see the results and the effects of all the work we're putting into this, I want you to remember the popcorn theory because it requires patience. Just like nurturing a garden and growing plants, right? And having a nursery, you need to continue to water the plants. You need to continue to maintain those plants. You need to continue to do all of the background environmental work to ensure that we have a fruitful and budding garden. this is what we're doing at Taboo every single day. Many of the actions that we're taking as a core team, you do not see the effects of what it'll do until 2 weeks from now, 2 months from now, 6 months from now, 1 year from now, right? So I want you all to understand this, and I want you all to exhibit patience with us. Be patient with us, and we will continue to deliver for you. Now, you know, the beautiful thing is this: the market has decided for us that they want more Taboo. We are hitting record highs all the time. We're hitting new all-time highs, which then become new price floors and lows. And we will continue to be doing this day in and day out. But this is a really key point. I cannot give you all major news every single day. I embrace periods of consolidation and quietness because we need that. Human energy doesn't work this way. We cannot continue to have a chat or a project where we're pumping major news every single day. There needs to come a time where new investors and the team has a period of consolidation and quietness. This gives me the opportunity to work on the operational aspects of this business and to work on things that otherwise I wouldn't be able to. See, you know, there's a beautiful quote that I'll share in a moment, but I just wanted to make that very, very clear for all of you. Now, on behalf of the core team of Taboo, you know, we are honored, as I always say, and privileged to be serving you. You know, when I tell you all that we will become a top 10 cryptocurrency project, I do believe we will, and we will get there. You know, what I want all of us to challenge ourselves on before I start moving on and start discussing on ideas and announcements and all the semantics of the Taboo project, I want us all to think about this phrase: aim higher. See, if we say we have a potential to get to 1 billion market cap, what I urge all of you is to think like this: does it take me any more energy to just raise the bar a little higher? It takes no more energy to conduct the thought of saying 1 billion versus 10 billion. Just like how I've said in a post, when you raise a bow and arrow and you aim it a little higher, right? This is what I urge all of you to do, is to think and aim higher. Whatever you think is potential worthy on this project, I want you to think higher. Because really, in life, we get what we believe we deserve. Many people in the crypto space are not able to attain wealth because they do not have a wealth mindset, because they do not believe they are already in possession of the wealth that they desire. So this requires a lot of introspection. It requires a lot of personal thinking. It requires all of you to be able to manifest for yourselves what you believe you're worth and where you think this project will go. And with a community that is unified, that is positive, that is always supporting each other, you know, we will have total greatness. Now, I want to share one thing. I want to share what are some of the ingredients on what makes a business successful. There are 3 things that makes a business successful beyond other kinds of businesses and how they run. First is what you're building truly ethical. Ask yourselves this: is the Taboo project an ethical project? Absolutely. You know, you look at BSC scan today, not a single team token has been sold. We have been self-funding this from day one because we believe that our community needs to thrive first before we ever get an opportunity to thrive. You know, what makes me so happy and what really drives me and motivates me on this project is knowing there is an individual at some place around the world who invested $50 or $100, where that kind of money for them feeds their family for a month, and they're now up 10 or 20 times, having life-changing money, being able to give their family, their children, and everybody the opportunity for a better life, for access to education, for being able to really make a difference in the people's lives that they care about. This is what drives me more than anything else. So first, is it an ethical project? Yes. Is it a legal project? Absolutely it is. I mean, we have done all of that already. We're already anticipating potential regulations that can go on with the US and all of this around cryptocurrency regulation. That's why we have a KYC that is functioning on our marketplace. We have all of that in place because we want to be able to handle objections as they come. Now, the third thing on what can make a business successful: does it benefit other people more than it benefits you? Does it benefit other people more than it benefits you? I believe that that's the case with Taboo. We have nearly 26,000 holders now, right? And I believe that the more hands that can get their hands on Taboo, the more it benefits more people beyond just us on the core team. So I believe that as well, right? So, and the last point, will the effects of the business, will it have a long-lasting multi-generational effect? That's why I talk about legacy. That's why I talk about this project not only being here to stay, but having a multi-generational effect, both in the investors that invest in us in their lives, and in terms of creating a long-lasting, sustainable brand that is here to stay for multiple generations. And I believe that Taboo has all of those ingredients. So on a bit of an educational point, remember the popcorn theory, and remember those elements on what really makes a business successful as just some background knowledge. I love to share this kind of information with all of you because, I want to make these AMAs more about getting to the hearts of investors' minds than about the project. I can talk about Taboo all the time, right? But what we're doing here and what we're creating goes way beyond just Taboo, way beyond just Taboo. Now, going on to Taboo and getting into the details around the Taboo project, I have a few points I want to share. First and foremost is we created a Taboo support army group. I will share the link a little bit later. This is a group that I believe can help send us to the stratosphere. This is a group where I encourage as many community members as possible to join, because what I will be doing is sharing all kinds of posts on Taboo. And we can all together in a call to action marketing campaign be able to go and like, comment, and retweet on various posts so that we can trend on all these socials. This is a very, very important group. It's not a shill group. I don't even want to call it a raid group. It is just a member responsibility where 30 seconds to a minute of your days, just make sure that you're doing your part to drive your own investment forward. That's all I ask from all of you. Let us do the rest. But I ask for a minute of your time every day. That is my challenge and request for all of you. Because if we can do this, and we can do this consistently, we will trend everywhere. It's really sad because I have people messaging me still today saying, I haven't heard of Taboo before. We're trying everything in our power to ensure that we have as much brand awareness and exposure, but it's the community engagement activities like this that is going to give people the opportunity to get in as early as all of you. So let's think about them as well. Let's be selfless and let's try to help more people get their hands on Taboo. So there's a support army group that's been made. I urge you all to join it. The more that can join it, the more waves we will make across all socials. The next thing that I want to talk about is the marketplace launch. So I have been very careful from 2 to 3 months ago to never, ever set a timeline that I can't promise. When I said November 1st, I said it as an anticipated launch date. We're so close, everybody. You have no idea. We are so close. The tiering system and the final design of it has now been confirmed. We were able to push that from the later versions onto this first version marketplace launch, which I'm very excited about. The content that we're putting out is so phenomenal. It's going to make your jaws drop, but it takes a lot of preparation and planning. And I believe that everything that's going on this project is meant to happen. So because the launch didn't happen on November 1st, now I have the opportunity to do countdown. I'm going to do a countdown. The moment that I know, it can be any day, any hour from now, I will know an exact countdown, which I will release. When I say it's coming very soon, it can be any day. Okay. But I need you to trust me and trust the process, because I want to build this right the first time. And I don't want to rush a launch where people get disappointed, where there are technical glitches and errors on it, just because we have to have this mentality of rush it to market. If we don't, we're in trouble. Not true. Cardano didn't have a working product for 6 years, and we're only 5 months in. So be patient with me. Think the popcorn theory that I spoke to you about, that analogy, and we are all going to be handsomely rewarded together. The next thing I want to mention around the marketplace, I'm going to make a little teaser around this. There is one NFT of Hugh Hefner, which has never before been seen, with all of his Playmate models that were around him. We have this NFT that's coming, and I just wanted to share that just to show you the kind of quality content that's coming our way. Good. So moving forward, okay, I want to just talk a little bit about the collections of the content on the marketplace, and then we'll start to move towards questions. So there are going to be about 8 to 10 various collections. There's going to be a celebrity collection. There will be a Playmate collection. There will be an implied nudity collection. There will be a full-scale risque collection, which is all the tier 3 kind of content. There's going to be a Baywatch collection. There's going to be a pop art collection. We are looking at an animated series. We're also looking at a amateur and rookie series as well. And there will be various NFTs across various tiers. And we're looking at about a total of 500 NFTs, give or take. Now, why do I say 500? Because we have to find a delicate balance between exclusivity and quality, and not having so much volume that we lose the premium feel of what Taboo is. So this is what I wanted to share with all of you there. Now, in terms of our growth lately, I am super happy. I am nothing but proud of how far we've come, but the real work is just beginning. And I honestly don't check the price, nor do I care, because as long as we continue to do the right things day in and day out, the results will speak for themselves, right? So try not to check the charts too often. I always tell you all this. Please do not do that. It's not good for the spirit. It's not good for the spirit. And we are very early. I mean, I'm telling you, we will have multiple major exchanges this year. We have so many major exchanges that are knocking on our door that even I was in disbelief at this stage on some of those names. So major exchanges are also coming, and we're very, very excited to share more about them the moment we're able to. So stay tuned for all of that. Now, what I'll do is I will move towards questions. I like to give a priority to individuals on the call to ask questions, because I like hearing voices. And I always say that help me by helping you to keep me energized. So ask questions on the call. It really helps me keep an optimal productivity level with all of you. So with that being said, I apologize for the cough. I'm still a little sick here. Let's move towards questions.
So how do we take turns here? Can I start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So first, thank you and the team for all what you do, and the members too. My question is about so like my vision is that we don't just focus on NFTs. I know NFTs that might be the future, but like the live streaming, I think the live streaming can keep the platform busy like 24 hours a day.
Yes.
Because
like, got it.
What I imagine is a model live streaming with a group of people watching and then tipping music using our tokens, which will keep the demand high. And I think that's the future, because NFTs, we're not 1,000,000% sure how they're gonna turn to be, but the live streaming, we already know. Like, I don't know. Like, as a consumer, I would join the live streaming and have fun with other people
Yes.
watching, because we have live streaming, but it's not in a, like, the adult world. Like, if we can turn that, especially with the tipping, because cryptocurrency is about tipping. Look, Twitter they're using Bitcoin for tipping.
Yes.
That's my
Yes.
vision for this
And
project. That's why I left other project and I joined uh, this project when I heard about the. I mean, there was many reasons, but that's one of the biggest reason.
yes, yes. I'm gonna just share this right now. The marketplace version 1 launch, it's gonna be based on just NFTs. There will be video NFTs as well, but that's just the starting point. I mean, I agree with you. That is actually one of the defining, I believe, features of what will be coming in the later versions of the marketplace is the live streaming, is the private shows, is the tipping, is the virtual reality. It's having a content creator say, hey, I want to, maybe work for 3 hours today. I'm going to, start doing some live streams with 1,000 of community members that I've already staked onto my profile that get exclusive access to my imaging and my live streaming services. And then they will start to tip that creator. That is all coming. That is all coming.
So,
And this is
so
the,
more
this is,
models will join just because of that, because they're gonna be making, and that's already happening on other. I've sent you a DM. I know you're very busy, but like, I just want, like, maybe when you have time, because that's already happening, but not in the adult industry. So we could be the first. That's my
yes.
idea. And I just want to say, I recently joined the team. I just want to say one thing before I end this and give the chance to other people. So please, to the members, let's not rush the team, because launching is very important. It's like you're launching a rocket to the moon. That you can't have a mistake. Uh, if you're launching and you get all kind of glitches, or you get attacked, because like, you could be a target and all that, then it's gonna be bad. Like, we need to make sure to test this product 1,000,000% before launching. That's why I'm telling the team, please let's not rush Majid and the team for the launching, and keep asking when is launching. Let them do their work.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you for listening. Sorry if I took so much time.
No, 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 that's great. I value all community feedback and insight and support. I mean, I even have a particular Taboo. It's a bit of a community support group when I have individuals that come to me with good ideas. There's about 5 people there now. I want to keep it limited. They get a bit more of a direct line of communication with me on some of their thoughts. And they, I mean, the support army was actually somebody changed my mind on that, actually, because I'm very open minded on these things, and it's now proven to be very successful. I mean, our retweets are 5 times higher than they've ever been from that alone, but that was from a community suggestion, a community member suggestion. Now, what I want to share with all of you, what the core of this project is. We are branding as the Playboy of blockchain, bridging the gap that Playboy failed to do by not going digital, and bringing power back to content creators. This is what we are doing here, and we're doing it in a decentralized fashion, right? So this is the core of what we're building here. And again, I want to make this very clear. This marketplace launch, this version 1, is just the start of our journey together. And even though on the white paper we see there's a phase 2 and a phase 3, the reality is there is thousands of updates that are going to happen, and there will never be anything like a final product, because we need to stay modern and trendy and relevant at all times. I'm going to share one example. I don't know if you've heard about this, but there's a new kind of NFT that has come out called immutable NFTs. on the Ethereum chain. The moment I heard about it, it's like a gasless, very quick type of NFT for transfers. I mean, it's like instantaneous as well. I talked to our development team, PowerSoft, who again, they built the Engine Coin marketplace. They are the best development team that money can buy. We paid 5 times on the dollar for them at a time where all these offshoot adult tokens were so focused on rushing a product out of fear that they're going to lose market share. I just said, go do your thing, because I believe that you don't need to reinvent the wheel. Let them go make their mistakes. And I just sat back and I took mental notes, and I'm like, yep, they did this wrong. They did that wrong. They did that wrong. But the number one thing that they did wrong, they had a fear mentality, not an abundance mentality. But the point I'm trying to make is all innovative tech that is possible on this marketplace, we are including as we go. So immutable NFTs are going to be included. Look them up. It is very cutting edge stuff. Very cutting edge stuff. So very good question there. I really appreciate it. I'm going to open the floor now to some more questions.
Yeah, I have a question, if that's okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me well?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's good. So, hi Majid. Now, I actually have 2 questions. I'm going to try to be quick. The first one, and I really don't want you to take this as a criticism or fraud or something like that.
I'm so criticized already. I mean, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
No. But I'm not. I'm not criticizing. It's just a doubt. A doubt that came to my mind. Actually, I don't know if you remember me or if you've seen my name in the chat, but in the group, but I'm always very, very supportive. So it's just, a doubt that I have in my mind and I wanted to ask you about.
Sure.
So you said that the project is completely self-funded.
Yes.
And that's great, but there's a part of me that said that's almost too great. Why? What are the reasons for the self-funding? Is that because you don't want to, lower the price of the token by selling part of the marketing wallet, or
yes,
I don't know, because it seems like a very, very important investment for you to make, and I don't want to mind your businesses or or see how much money you spend, or it's not like that. But I just wonder why. What are the benefits of being completely self-funded?
Right. So first and foremost, one of the reasons why it's self-funded is because every decision that we've made for this project, I want to give you a bit of a background. There was a time where we had the opportunity to have hundreds of content creator model partners come on, but we didn't do it. You know why? Because I always say this, I like to make proper chess moves, right? I look at this as making chess moves, and it's all about making the correct strategic moves. If we had gone with some of those partnerships, I assure you the quality of this brand would have tanked. Just because of volume and quantity of partners, I wasn't interested. So what I need you to know is, we are always keeping in mind what we can do to protect the price and the integrity of this project. So if we were to start using the marketing and development wallets and start to dump tokens, right, it will hurt our price, and we don't want to do that. So that's number one. We don't want to do that. Now the second thing is, it's about having skin in the game. I see so many other crypto projects. The team members are not working 24/7. It becomes more of a casual lifestyle business for them because they get money and salaries handed to them. And I'm not a firm believer in that. If you have skin in the game, now you're extra motivated to continue to push and grow. So this is what James and I have done. This is why we work so hard. I'm telling you, I work 24/7 on this. It's definitely not sustainable for the long term, but I'm going to continue to do this till we get to where we need to be. And then one day I'll take a relaxing break and I'll take a step back. But here's the reality. We are treating this business like a real business. So we look at all these tokens like shares in a legitimate large scale company. So in the future, we can have the opportunities to scale further by bringing in global entities and other kinds of partnerships. Does that make sense? That is a huge part of this, because that will help us get from 1 billion to 10 billion. Does that make sense? Is to have this kind of large scale support. So if we start selling shares and tokens, that could hurt those plans. But additionally, me and James look at this and we're like, it's just wrong to sell tokens this cheap. I mean, I look at these prices and I think they're so cheap anyway that it just doesn't make sense to sell tokens to begin with. Does that make sense? So that's the biggest reason, right? So really what the community needs to know is, and again, it's a case of, it's hard to believe that we're this selfless, but we really are, right? I always said this, we want the community to thrive first before we get the chance to thrive. But we've created the conditions for myself and James to be extra motivated to continue to work day in and day out. And you can only do that with skin in the game. See, we have had, even if I look at, let's say, the language Telegram groups that I'm building and creating, for some of those moderators, we paid them a little bit of, a couple $100s a month here and there. The level of their work output and the way that they manage those groups was abysmal. But when you have a volunteer investor that comes in, that has skin in the game, that wants to grow their own investment, they are the best moderators. Does that make sense, Andreas? So
yes, it does. Yes.
So that's the biggest reason, and one of the reasons we're doing this is to have skin in the game. Very good question. You said you had a second question?
Yeah, I'm going to be fast. It's about the tiering. Well, first of all, thank you for the answer to the first one. Thank you very much. And concerning the second question, it's about the tiering system. Because I don't know if these questions have already been asked. I hope not. But there's one thing that I don't really understand. You said multiple times, and it's also mentioned in the white paper, that the tiering systems are going to be they are going to be USD pegged, right? Like, there's a certain ceiling, a certain floor to go in the next tier and so on. So, like, for example, 10,000, I think, USD for the tier 4.
Correct.
But let's say, for example, that today Taboo is worth 1. Well, let's hope we get to Taboo worth 1. And I have $10,000 of Taboo. The next day, Taboo is worth 0.7, and this takes my bag to $7,000. Does it mean that I can I don't know how to say this, but I can continuously get bounced from one tier to another, or is there going to be another system, or I don't know. Like, for example, I thought that maybe one idea could be of basing the tiering system on the shares instead of the USD value that a man holds. Like, for example, the first 100 holders are going to be in tier 4, and the next 200 in tier 3, and so on. But I don't know. Of course, I guess you've thought about this, so I just wanted to ask you how this is going to work.
Yes. Okay. So, one thing the first point I'll mention around this is, when we look at the roadmap on the website, when we look at the white paper, nothing is definitive, in the sense that as the project grows and expands, the mindset of the team members will grow. We always have to be adaptable, and we need to make adjustments based on market conditions and on how the project has evolved. So when I look at roadmaps, when I look at the white paper, I look at them like guidelines in the sense that they can be subject to change. Now, the reason we kept it the way it is for now on the US dollar value amount is because I do not want to make a sudden change that will arouse confusion for the community. I don't want to make such a drastic change where everybody has already expected that this is the way it's going to be, just for the purpose of this launch. So really, the people that are going to benefit from this launch, because $1,000, $5,000, and $10,000 is not a significant sum at this point. But when there are new investors coming in, there will be added utility in the sense that they have to buy $1,000, $5,000, or $10,000 of Taboo. I have spoken to the development team and I've looked at other strategies that we can maybe implement. So we might be able to add in a share amount at some point on how that will look. But I want you to know that the tiering system alone, based on dollar value, will not be the only way to get access to the higher tiers. We are looking at 2 other additional ways in which we can add more utility, one of which is staking. If you can stake a certain amount of tokens, then you can be able to buy tiers. And we're also looking at a subscription model as well that can act as a third element for being able to access tiers as well. Does that make sense, Andrea? So this will all be adjusted and modified if needed as we go. But for the purpose of this launch, we're keeping it this way.
Yeah, of course, that makes sense. Yes, because you can't foresee everything when you write the white paper, seeing that you write the white paper at the beginning of the project. So of course you have to
Yes.
see how it evolves, how big it becomes, and how big are the investors that are going to enter the project and so on. So I understand, and thank you very much. Thank you very much, Majid. You're great, and the way you conduct these AMAs is impeccable. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you so much. Great. Any other questions right now on the call?
You just have a quick question.
Yep. Go ahead.
Thank you very much for your hard work, mate. Just want to have a quick question about the tax rate. At the moment, we have 8%. I'm just wondering if when the market laughs, will the tax rate change, or are we gonna adjust that?
Oh yes. Okay. Good. Very good question. So, we launched on the Binance Smart Chain network where transaction taxes are the norm. Our 7% transaction tax, where 4% goes to liquidity. It also acts as a pooling fund for what we're going to be using for large scale exchanges. Because some of these major exchanges that we're planning to list on, we're looking at millions of dollars worth of tokens that need to be injected into liquidity. So we're building up that base as well. 2% goes to redistributions in the form of passive income for earnings for holding Taboo, which compound in effect. And then, of course, 1% goes to burns. Now, I will tell you one thing. We will never, ever have a increase in the transaction taxes. It'll only ever be a modification on what's existing and what's there, or a decrease. But I plan to have that decreased. So, for example, when we look at staking is going to be live on our marketplace. And it doesn't make sense to allow redistributions to be in place as well as staking. That disincentivizes people to stake and to take tokens out of circulation. So we will be removing the redistributions upon launch to encourage holders to stake, and we are going to reward holders who do lockup periods for higher and more attractive APYs. But I will say this. What I don't want is I don't want to have too much inflationary sell pressure when it comes from staking. See, I see a lot of crypto projects out there. There is a lot of sell pressure that happens due to having staking earning percentages that are so high that it just creates huge sell walls and pressures. So we're going to make the staking attractive enough to make everybody happy to stake. There will be different kinds of staking where you'll have a lower API. if you're not going to lock up, but you will have a significantly higher API to have staking and your tokens locked up for a period of time. So when it comes to the transaction tax, to answer your question, the plan is to reduce it. And I believe that at one point, probably the only tax that we would have included in a later date would probably be the burns, because the burns do make sense to keep. And that's about it. So that's one of the reasons why we did not renounce the contract. I remember at the start of this project, I had a lot of community members say, renounce the contract, renounce the contract. That is the worst idea. That is like giving the keys and control away from your business. And when PancakeSwap created version 2, I want everybody to know this, so we can shoot the elephant in the room right now. Our liquidity is locked for 6 months. We have locked liquidity. Again, we will continue to relock. But if anyone ever says and asks, why is it only 6 months? It's because we are accounting for PancakeSwap potentially having a version 3 down the line. And all the projects that were part of version 1 that had their liquidity locked for 10 years lost all that liquidity, and they were not able to migrate properly. So to answer your question, though, the tax should be reduced over time, and the redistributions at the minimum are going to be removed to incentivize staking. Thank you for the question.
No problem. Thank you very much.
Hey, Majid.
Hi there. Hi there.
Hey, bro. I have two questions. When the NFT launch time? When is the NFT launch time? And do you rebase on this token?
No.
Sorry for my English grammar.
No. I find it very interesting that people ask, is it a rebase token? Because they are sometimes in disbelief on what our market cap is and how much we're pumping. But this is all organic, natural growth, my friend, and it's not a rebase token. Now, with regards to the marketplace launch, I'm in the final integrations. I'm trying to upload the content. See, we use some of the highest or the best experts in graphics design and editing from around the world, from Paris to Thailand to other parts of Asia, because we want to make sure that this marketplace launch is the best presentation pitch that any marketplace has ever conducted in the history of crypto. So the reason why it's taking a lot longer is because we embedded a $1 million of NFT content upon launch. This is what all the worldwide media outlet, the agency that came by and they wanted to feature us, we released an article around that. So it's a presentation pitch to the world. So in terms of the timeline of the marketplace, we had anticipated today. It's obviously not going to be today. I'm going to know very soon, any day here, on the exact countdown. I'm just working on the final integrations of the marketplace. And one of the reasons why it took a little longer as well is because we pushed some of the version 2 and version 3 development features for the marketplace into version 1. We weren't going to release with the tiering system because that is a very complex development to make, but I pushed our development team to have it included, and that took a little bit of time. It wasn't only until yesterday when the tiering system was completed and I just finalized the design plan around how the tiers will look. So now it's just a matter of doing some final testing, of making sure that the $1 million of NFT content upon launch is properly integrated in the interface of the marketplace. And I will do a countdown very, very soon here. Like I said, it can be any day, and the marketplace could launch in 3 days, 5 days, or even 7 days. It is really just a matter of bear with me, trust me, and we will have a successful launch. So very good question. So I could, clarify that with the community. So
Thank you so much, Majid.
no problem. And I'm very happy. We have a record turnout on this AMA. So congratulations, everyone. I think the last record we had was about 100 people. I saw us have nearly 120 at one point. So very, very exciting. Good. Any other questions on this call?
Hey guys. Hey,
Hello,
Paul here.
Paul. How are you?
Hey, mate. Yeah, very well. But I do apologise if it's an answer. I couldn't jump on until probably about 30, 35 minutes in.
Yep.
Just a quick one, just with regards to so you guys are on the Binance chain, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What was the reason for sticking on that? Because again, there's obviously lots of different networks and things that it could have been the project could have been built on. Was there any particular reason as to why Binance was kicked?
Well, yeah. I mean, first and foremost, I mean, if you look at the Ethereum network, gas fees are just so ridiculously high that
I thought
that
that would be one reason. I thought that would be one reason.
Yeah, yeah. And it was a lot of this is conditioning too. A lot of new projects, they like to just get onto the Binance Smart Chain first. But what I will say for you is that in terms of other networks, we are doing cross-chain integration across all the biggest networks for NFT transfers between networks. So, Cardano, Ethereum, Solano, Phantom, all of that is coming. I want you to know that. So it's neither here nor there for me. I mean, just because we launched on the Binance Smart Chain, it's a non-issue because we're gonna have cross how do I say this integration across all these other networks as well. Anyway.
Okay. So. And do you know when that will be rolled out? Because I mean, is it a case at the moment that Binance holds the kind of power strings, really, isn't it? Technically speaking. I suppose so. Once you've got the integrations with the cross platforms achieved, then it, I suppose the value should increase tenfold, really, shouldn't it?
Oh, absolutely. This is in the later versions of the marketplace. I always tell people, we need to crawl before we can walk, and then before we can sprint.
100%.
So, that is all coming in later versions of the marketplace. It's going to be version 2, not phase 2. We should have some other networks integrated into Taboo. So yeah,
cool. Good stuff. Yeah, because I noticed with the Taboo Punk, it was an ETH transfer, wasn't it?
Say that again. Sorry. Oh yes. So yeah. So
it just made me ask the question of, hang on a minute, we're paying that in ETH, but it's on the Binance Smart Chain. So I just didn't know whether there was a particular reason.
Yeah, because we never had the marketplace out yet at the time, and the Taboo Punks was always designed as a treat to our community to help reward our early holders and their loyalty for holding by getting access to a NFT asset that can very well grow in value due to the scarcity of it all, and to allow community members to bypass the tiers. That's why we're giving community members limited tier access as well across tiers. But I will say, you will not get access to all the premium benefits. Just because you own a Taboo Punks doesn't mean you're going to get invited to a VIP exclusive party for Taboo at our Taboo mansion, because that would not be fair to the individuals that are actually premium holders. So I want to make that very clear. It's just to access higher forms of content in terms of getting into the implied nudity tier and getting into the full-scale nudity tier in tier 3. So yes, we did it on the Ethereum chain because at the time that just felt like the easiest way to do it, and so that's why we did it. So I hope that answers your question. And our development team said that was the easiest solution to make, is just to get it on the Ethereum chain for the Taboo Punks as well. So good. Any other questions on the call at the moment?
Yeah, I want to ask you something.
Yep.
Hi, Majid.
Hello.
Thank you for everything. And my question is, a friend of mine, he asked me if you want to sell or to swap my Taboo, okay? How much of taxi I got to pay I asked. It's 7% for buying and
Yes,
7% for
for
buying
sell.
for
Yep,
sell. Okay, yeah, it's the same. So it's 40%. Okay, this is the
yep, yeah. It's it's
okay.
it's 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 7% for every buy and every sell. Absolutely, yes.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. No problem.
Hello.
Hi there.
Hi there. I just want to add, you just say that there will be the version 2 and version 3. So it
Correct.
means you change the token, or you are talking about the Taboo Punk.
I'm talking about the token, and I'm talking about the marketplace, the marketplace itself. So there's a version 1 being released imminently, or just around the corner. And if you check on the white paper, you'll see the development guidelines for the later phases of what's going to be included in the marketplace. There will be features like interactions with content creators and their profiles, following their profiles, staking onto individual profiles, active tipping, live streaming, video services, virtual reality type NFTs, private shows. All of that is coming in later versions of the marketplace. But I will say one thing. This marketplace, we wanted to make sure that upon launch, we are using the native token. We haven't implemented Ethereum or BNB as payment methods yet. They will be coming in later versions. We made the executive decision not to do that because we want to encourage the use of our native token on the marketplace. And we will have a unique swap feature in place that is unidirectional in nature on the marketplace, where other common cryptocurrencies, you can convert them into Taboo to then use and spend on the marketplace as well. And lazy minting is going to be in place. So content creators and providers that upload their NFTs or mint them into NFTs are not going to pay any of the gas fees. The buyer of the NFT, upon the sale of that NFT, will be taking on that cost, and the mint fees will be in Taboo. And I will say, what is a really exciting feature that is going to be coming in on some later versions is royalties on NFT sales. So every single buy and sell of that NFT, in that stream of transactions that happens, will have royalties for the creator. This is one of the big selling points for why we have international, playmate models like Chloe Terre, who's a 3-time international playmate of the year. That is our primary brand ambassador. Why she is so excited, because we are really bringing power back to the creators, and we are helping ensure that they can really benefit from ensuring that their work has potential to be seen, and that if they are quality content creators, and they'll be able to really benefit from being a part of the Taboo ecosystem.
But
Yeah.
basically, if I have a million Taboo coin at the moment, so you're not gonna change into the new version, so I don't need to swap my old version to get the new version.
Yes,
Correct.
exactly. Yeah, you won't need to do any of that. Absolutely.
Okay, that's what I'm worried about, because I see people to change the contract, and then they move version 1 to version 2, and it create a lot of chaotic. So that's what I try to.
Yeah, no, we're not making any new contract at this. No. It's the same contract. It's just the marketplace will be updated to newer versions. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I got
Perfect.
it. Yeah. Thank you.
No problem.
Can I ask you a question, please?
I don't know. Can you? No, I'm kidding. I have my, growing up, whenever I would say, can I ask this or can I do this, I would have my father say, I don't know, can you? So it's just a very funny.
Okay. Hey,
yeah,
question.
go on.
So which exchange do you think might get listed first? Kind of a major one.
Oh, right. So okay. So here's here's the reality. We have nearly every single top 10 exchange knocking on our door, and multiple in the top 5 knocking on our door. Now, large scale exchanges are more slow moving. And slow moving not only in being able to get listed, but also in how quickly conversations and deliberations happen. So I'll give you an example. We are going to list on our first, top 10 major exchange. And the way that the conversations go, it's literally, every 2 to 3 days they'll get back to us, and we move forward with another phase of our conversations, and then they'll say, okay, great, we'll get back to you next week. We're going to go through an approval process with our department heads on this part of the application process and listing process, and we'll get back to you. So I'm not in a position where I can push them or look desperate, because really I do believe that exchanges should be paying us. I don't like that we have to be paying them to list. I feel it's more of a benefit for them than it is for us, honestly, with the kind of project that we have. But unfortunately, that's just not the way it works. But expect multiple major exchanges for Q4 of this year. Multiple. That's all I got to say on that.
What about Kronos, crypto.com, their DeFi platform that's coming out? Have you looked at it?
I honestly, I barely keep my head above water every day, so I haven't looked at it. So send me a message in a DM, and then I'll make a note of that to explore that when I get a moment. So I haven't been able to look at that personally, no. So
cool, bro. Much love. Thanks. I'll send you a message.
Yeah, no problem. Good. Great. Any other questions on this call before maybe I start checking any questions on the chats?
Just a quick question. First of all, thanks for all. And I wanted to ask you, is there any advantage that you get from the Taboo Punk that you only get from the Punk?
Yes. So by owning a Taboo Punks, I just got confirmation from our development team last night. I'm going to be providing all of the wallet addresses for the individuals that bought a Taboo Punk. So when I provide those wallet addresses, because you can see it all on BSC scan, those wallet addresses will have a bypass of the tiering system requirements to get access to more exclusive content. So it doesn't matter how much Taboo you own, you will be able to see on the marketplace all of the tiers from tier 1 to tier 3 if you own a Taboo Punks.
Okay. Nice. Thanks a lot, man.
No problem.
Majid,
so what I'm going to do...
Majid, when are we expecting the staking part of the Taboo coins in your platform?
It will be upon launch. So we're gonna have not only staking upon launch, we're gonna have yield farming as well. So if people want to, use a part of their Taboo stack to farm, we're also creating instructional videos around the differences between staking Taboo and also pairing Taboo tokens with BNB and what's called an LP pair to do farming, because farming it can be very lucrative, but it can also be dangerous in the sense of impermanence loss, which we will be teaching our community about, so then they can make their decisions around that. So both of them will be included into this version 1 launch.
Is it launched this month, next month, or any?
No. We're talking. I told you the countdown. I'm going to be providing a countdown any day here. Any day I'll be providing a countdown to the launch, and when the countdown happens, I'm anticipating it will be maybe 4 to 5 days or so for a countdown, because my objective, every move that I want to make on this project, I'm trying to maximize price impact. So it wouldn't make sense for me to just, if it's ready for launch, just say, hey, it's launching today or tomorrow. I would want to ensure that we go get listed on Coin Market Call, where we know that there's a lot of smart money that likes see countdowns on marketplaces and product launches, right? So I want to make sure that we can create a movement and a hype around the launch date itself, so we can maximize price impact, because really we only have one shot at a first launch. You can only launch for the first time one time. Does that make sense? So I will provide this countdown the moment I am confident in the day and the specific day and time that we can launch. And this countdown will be released any day here, any day.
I have a quick question for you. Celebrities like Paris Hilton, all these are correct information, right?
Say that again, sorry.
I happened to read in your web page or some article. So you're working with celebrities like Paris Hilton. Is that correct?
Yeah, we have exclusive NFTs that are going to be coming from Lindsay Lohan, Paris Hilton, Britney Spears, even Amanda Cerny. I'm talking about the NFTs that have been never before seen and that are exclusive to the Taboo platform as well. So those are coming. And I will say that there's a particular pivot that I made in this business model about a month ago. And this is the one thing I can't share until we launch, and you will all see how it's possible that we've been able to get this kind of content in place. I look at this like intellectual property. So I just so I will just say that these NFTs are going to be on the marketplace. Absolutely. But remember, we are a premium brand like the Gucci's and the Versace's of the world. So don't expect that there's going to be 100 NFTs of Lindsay Lohan. We're a project that is taking pride in scarcity. I mean, you look at our website, we talk about scarcity and rarity. So the way to keep NFTs exclusive is by keeping very few or maybe singular amounts in existence. Does that make sense? So we're sticking to that business model. So.
Oh, hello. I want to ask you a question. You talk about the farming, so it's mean that the free gonna go back to like normal. Then we won't get any reflection, isn't it? Because I can't see how they both work together.
Yeah. The reflections are gonna disappear, so that people can stake and earn a yearly rate of return that will be broken down into different releases of tokens over time. So the staking will be what will be replacing reflections. But farming is a different concept. Farming, if you have, let's say, 1 million Taboo and it's worth $100,000 and you want to farm 1 million Taboo, you need to add $100,000 of BNB as well to farm. And so, but there's the risk of impermanence loss as well, depending on how. So it's double layered, right? It depends. So the way that'll determine whether you are going to be going up in value or earning more Taboo tokens and having a higher value of this pairing is based on the BNB price movements alongside the Taboo price movements as well. So we will send instructional manuals that will make it very clear, because I want to make sure that everyone understands the differences so that they can make an informed decision on whether to stake and or farm. So
but then the moment you put the feature of into that, it means you're not going to check for we're not going to buy 77% tax if we want to buy.
Yeah, so the tax, like I said, it'll either stay right at 7%. It'll never go down. It'll never go down. It'll never go up. Sorry, or it'll be reduced. But my plan down the line, moving forward, is eventually the taxes are going to be reduced. Does that make sense? So I can't speak to that right at this moment. All I can tell you is redistributions will be removed for staking. That's what I know for sure.
But then if somebody doesn't know about how to stack, for example, so they just bought it, they just buy it, and they buy 77% tax, but they didn't get any reflection why somebody stacking get the reward. So
Yeah. So again, I am going, that's when I have more information around this, I will share it. all you need to know is that the tax will never go up, and it'll either stay the same or go down. So if we remove reflections, maybe we make the burns 3%. Does that make sense? Because that will also help with reducing the supply and helping creating more scarce supply, which in theory helps our price over time. So those are the decisions that I'm going to make, and I will share all of that the moment I can make an official announcement on it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good. So I'm going to go check some of the chat questions.
Majid.
Yeah, go on.
Sorry, just quickly, just because I've got the battery back now. So just going back to what we was talking about with the bringing out the new, integrating across platforms and things. Because I mean, look, the BSC obviously is centralized, isn't it? So, the Phantom network, for example, is completely decentralized. It's just a concern of Binance dropping servers or something like
that. I don't quite understand the concern. Can you please elaborate?
So, obviously, with Binance being centralized,
yeah,
they have the ability to drop a server, don't they?
I don't know if I quite understand what you're trying to say there, because I mean, I look at the Binance Smart Chain network, and there's decentralized exchanges like PancakeSwap, and then there's centralized exchanges that you can trade on. So I'm not 100% sure what you mean by that, but we do know that Binance itself is a centralized entity. We all know that, and that's just not going to change. They're like a monopoly, really. But that's not any sort of systemic risk on Taboo in any way. So to answer your question.
Perfect. Thanks for clearing that up.
Good. Okay. Someone's asking, is it possible to ask Majid for people about that people like Paris Hilton have a contract with Taboo? Okay, here's something that I want everybody to understand. From the moment that we brought on the Chloe Terres of the world and the Jenny Summers and the Holly Barker and CJ Sparks and all of and Brie TSC and these these brand ambassadors or model partners that we have, our conversations that we had with them was simply, you are not committed to us. You're free to come and go as you please. I am not going to push them to get into some crazy big exclusivity legal contract, because I do not have to try to be attached and try to force people to stay here. I mean, you look at these models, the reason why they're pushing us and shilling us so hard is because we never made it feel like work for them from the beginning. And they do this on their own accord because it makes sense for them to promote their NFTs to their communities anyway, because their followers are more likely to buy their NFT in general, aside from our own community. So this is the way that I did it with James, and it's proven to be very effective because I want natural brand ambassadors. I don't want brand ambassadors that feel forced to do it. That's why we never went ahead with, buying tweets from celebrities and all of that. Very cheap way to try to get marketing going. So that's just not my style, Ali. For me, I'm not in a position to try to lock people into contracts. And that's just the way that I've done it, and it's proven to be very successful to date. So I'm not conventional in how I run this project, and that's what makes this very special. We don't follow the masses, and we do what we know is right without influence on what everyone else is doing. So good. Okay, so
just a quick question, if I can ask a quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you mentioned about the not interested in the, like, it's a very premium brand, Gucci, Prada, all this kind of stuff. Are you guys interested in going after the kind of OnlyFans tier of streaming and more general public stuff with either a sub project that still uses the Taboo token or a sister project that would still use the Taboo token, or are you just not interested in that side of the market and you guys are going to be going after the lion's share of the premium market?
Yeah, so this is good. So, we are going after the lion's share of the premium market, but if you check our white paper, we're leaving room for other cryptos to be able to come in to our umbrella and advertise and be a part of showcasing their cryptos onto the Taboo umbrella. So what we're going to be doing down the line, and this is where, I don't want to do it just yet, right? We plan to add more utility from other kinds of projects and entities that make sense to join in. So yes, there will be down the line sister companies to Taboo. There will be down the line other entities that we'll be able to either partner with or even just do a takeover on and buy outright and help put it into the Taboo umbrella. So this will all come. It's just we're just not there yet because I'll give you an example. There's a crypto project called Alpaca. They're one of the largest yield farming protocol in the Binance Smart Chain. They have really high amounts of TLV. They're listed on Binance as well. They want to partner with us. I just put a cap on that. I said not yet. I want to just focus on getting this marketplace launched. I want to make sure that we can start to have widespread adoption and use of the Taboo platform first, and then we can look at partnerships and incorporating more sister companies or allow additional services that we feel can really strengthen the value of the brand and what can be offered for investors. So very good question. Thank you. Good. Any other questions on this call, or I can check on the chat now and see what other chat questions there has been.
I have a quick question.
Yep.
Is Taboo supporting any charities or to prevent sex trafficking or rape victims or stuff like that, or that's not on our map? Just wondering.
Well, I mean, one of the slogans that we have is, we're trying to, promote personal empowerment. And when you look at the name Taboo, it's highly marketable, but people can sometimes feel a little bit stigmatized for their preferences, quote unquote, right? So, but to answer your question, we will in the future, absolutely. I mean, there's a reason why I want to build this radio show, this weekly radio show. The moment I get a chance to work on it, that's going to be added in. This is going to be an opportunity for us to talk about taboo topics and really get into the heart of some of those conversations, Mason, around trafficking, around being able to help individuals that might be victim to these kinds of things. So this radio show is not only going to be a way for up and coming models and creators to be able to feature themselves in an interview format, but we're going to be opening up the dialogue and conversations around all of this and make it like an educational platform.
There won't be a wallet that might be going to
not at the moment. Not at the moment.
Okay.
Not at the moment. All yeah. Yeah. Perfect. Any other questions on this call? Okay, I'll check some of the chat questions now. Let's see. Okay. Well, how long has it been? It's been about an hour and a half on this call already. So I think this might actually be a good time to end the call. I mean, I do have another call that is starting in 5 minutes. So I do need to take a little bit of a breather there and then get back to work to continue to serve all of you. Again, on behalf of the core team, we're all honored and privileged to be working for you and to continue to improve on the trust and the security that you all need day in and day out, to ensure that the project that you're investing in is a sound one, and that you can be happy sleeping at night knowing that you are a part of a movement that is going to be historical in nature. I say this time and time again, you know, being number one is the easy part. We're already the number one adult entertainment token in crypto. Staying there is the hard part. And we are going to make sure we do everything in our power to stay there and to turn Taboo into a powerhouse global brand where everybody around the world at least knows about Taboo and is talking about Taboo. So this is our mission for all of you. Again, I encourage everybody to join the support army group. I encourage you all to think 30 seconds to a minute every day. What have I done to drive my investment forward? It doesn't take much time to go out there and like, comment, and retweet on a post to help us trend on socials. We spend a lot of time in the atmosphere of our chat enjoying each other like a family, but let's set some membership responsibilities on a day-to-day basis. Other than that, again, our marketplace launch is right around the corner. Major exchanges are coming as well, and we have more surprise news. We always have surprise news that's coming, by the way. So stay tuned for some more of that as well. Again, it was a pleasure to be on this call with all of you, and I look forward to chatting with you all again soon. Thank you.